right, that will do. Washing in the background, half my face in shadow, but hey, I'm doing the best I can. Oh my gosh. Okay, hello rainbows, welcome back to my channel. So obviously different kind of background going on. There is actually so much happening in my life at the moment. If you guys follow me on my Instagram, you probably already know all the juicy goss. I've moved to Perth. Me and Hazel's down here at the moment. Right there, hello. We've actually, already moved to Perth. Lee obviously is coming. We haven't broken up or anything like that. Lee's got a job in head office. So yeah, I'm already down here a few weeks earlier trying to find a house. It's crazy. Meh. We'll leave it at that because I don't want to bore you guys. Anyway, today's video is going to be on the Blue Blood palette. Obviously, I wanted to get this video out a lot sooner than what it's out. So I do apologize for the delay. But as I said, things have been crazy. And in saying that, I think I'm going to do something slightly different with this video. It's going to be the same as all of my first impressions and tutorials. Full eye look with this, give you guys swatches, brush and finger swatches, and basically break it down, tell you guys my exact thoughts of this palette. Because I'm very late to the party, I figured there's going to be so many full-on blue looks out there already. So I think I might do a different spin. I'm going to try and do a look with this palette using little to no blue, something that's a little bit more wearable, that's a little bit more user-friendly and not like crazy full-on blue, because I figure there's already going to be a million tutorials out there like that already. And I know my audience probably wants something that will showcase this palette of how you can wear it if you're not into the full-on looks. I put a little poll up on Instagram and you guys were like, yes, natural look. Absolutely love it. Like it's, yeah, beautiful, detailed packaging. Obviously this palette's cruelty free, all that jazz. Little clasp, let's open it up. Mine doesn't come with, I don't have like this little slip or anything over the shadows. I don't know if that's normal for everybody. I did purchase this directly off the Jeffree Star Cosmetics website. I got up at like 2 AM to buy it. So yeah, beautiful shades. There's not a lot that aren't blue. Like there is a lot of blue in here, obviously. I think when I first saw this palette release, I was like, it's absolutely gorgeous, but I would have loved maybe a brown or maybe a pop of yellow or something to make it a more, I guess, versatile palette in a way, because there just definitely seems a lot of blue and then a lot of kind of just light neutral shades. So this is an 18 pan palette. There is about 9 or so ish, if you count these two colors down here, more neutral colors. So it's pretty much 50-50 with the vibrant blue greeny hues and then more kind of natural ones. All right, so I'm going to just put a little bit of concealer on my lids and then we will get into the first impressions and I'll kind of work out what to do makeup wise. The first color I'm going to go in with is Celebrity Skin, which actually looks like a really nice kind of transition-y type color. I'm gonna zoom in, and again, sorry I'm half in shadow. Oh, that's a little bit better, but yeah, sorry. I'm just gonna dust this into the crease. Like most of my videos, I don't really have any idea of what I'm gonna do. I just know that I'm gonna try and not use blue if I can. Jeffree Star so far, I've got 3, this is my 4th Jeffree Star palette I think, and his shadows always seem really beautiful, really consistent. I have never really had any major issues with fallout. They always seem very pigmented. So far, first impressions of just one shadow, it seems like it's going to be the same beautiful product that all of his shadows are. I'm not going to lie, like, because halfway through moving, I have not much makeup with me and not much makeup brushes. So I'm just going to try and make do with what I've got. There does seem to be quite a few very similar matte neutral kind of shades. Like we've got this white one here. This is the one I just used. We've got this one and then a slightly more pinky one. And I feel like if I've used this one, I don't really need to use these ones. You know what I mean? I wish there was, yeah, like I said earlier, a chocolatey brown that wasn't, you know, too cool toned in a way. I know I'm just being picky, but hey, I'm being honest. So I'm gonna go into Wealthy and just kind of blend this out towards my brow bone a little bit more. I'm thinking I might do Power. I'm gonna keep this mainly in the outer portion of the eyes. This might not be as, you know, intricate kind of tutorial because I'm not using all the crazy colors. Back in with a fluffier brush and I'm just gonna smoke that out. So I don't want to drag it into the crease too far, like into the inner portion of my eye too far. So now I'm gonna go in with Crystal Flesh. I'm gonna try it with a dry brush. It does seem definitely quite soft. Definitely you do pick up a lot on the brush. Oh, it's very pretty. Definitely on the light side as well. So I think I'm gonna go in with a bit of Untouchable. And I mean, it's quite light, but I'll just see if that kind of can soften that transition from the matte to the shimmer. If you were going for a very crazy full-on blue look, like there is so much that you can play with and work with. But in terms of a more natural look, I don't think you'll be able to have that much versatility if you didn't want to use a blue. Okay, so liner today, I've got the Ink Liner by Pretty Vulgar. This is a brown color. So this is in the shade Plot Twist. So while that's still a little bit damp, I am going to go in with Undertaker. I'm just going to smoke that out slightly. I'm going to basically do the rest of my base makeup, put some lashes on, and I'll be back to finish the eyes. That was really weird. Let you guys know what I used on my lips. It was Model Rock Pop Chick, and the lashes are again Model Rock in Burlesque Bomb, which I've just come across and absolutely freaking loving. I don't have mascara on yet, but I'll, you know, get back to that soon. So I'm gonna go back in with Power, and we're gonna smoke this out along the outer portion of the lower lash line, just kind of to connect it. So of course, you know, if you did want to incorporate blue, a really good way would be to do it on the lower lash line. Like you could do in the waterline a pop of bright blue and then a more darker blue smoked out or something like that, you know, just as an idea. And I know like a lot of people are probably thinking, why did I even buy this palette if I didn't want to do blue? I definitely love blue, but as I said, like the whole idea of this tutorial is to just see what you can do with the palette if you didn't want to use blue. If you guys have already watched lots of tutorials with this palette, you can definitely create some amazing blue looks. But yeah, I just wanted to really experiment and see, you know, not using blue, what you can do. And that rhymes. Dampen my brush and go in with Crystal Flesh again. So I'm basically mimicking what I did on the top, on the bottom. So I know it's, you know, pretty boring, but hey. Oh, this is beautiful wet. Oh my gosh, like, oh, hello. That's really pretty. Oh, just stabbed myself in the eye. Oh, hello. Oh, Crystal Flesh is in my eyeball. I'm gonna go back in with Untouchable, just kind of brushed off my brush. I'm just gonna blend those colors together. Now I want to go in with Cullinan. I'm so probably saying that wrong, but my brain's not, I can't put two and two together, my brain's not working. So I did dampen the brush a little bit as well. And this is going to be right in this inner corner. Fluorescent pop, hello, that's very pretty. I'm also going to dust this under my brow bone, and those lashes are epic. Wow, I need to blend that out because that is just super pigmented. Oh, it just looks like I have a white stripe happening right there. So I'm going to also dust this on top of my already highlighter. Existing highlighter, just to kind of see what it does. Okay, mascara. I just bought the Better Than Sex mascara. I've honestly never used it before, just to kind of see what it was like, you know, when I didn't have fakies on, if I just wanted, you know, mascara without the false lashes. It was quite nice. I wouldn't say it's like life-changing, because my natural lashes are really, you know, thin, sparse, no volume. But yeah, it is nice. Whew, it's really red. Oh God. I've had major issues with my eyes like this year. Oh, it's been shocking. I had a big eye infection, and then ever since then, probably once a month, they'll flare up, and it's just been ongoing. It's so annoying. Okay, that is pretty much it. So I am happy with how it came out. I mean, I'm not gonna say you should buy this palette to get this exact look, because you can get this exact look with majority of kind of natural, normal, smoky palettes, and you could probably get a more wider range of looks. So obviously, yes, with this palette, you can create a more natural kind of smokier look. Even if you didn't use the dark gray, you could just create a really neutral, natural, easy makeup look. Of course, you can create some incredible blue looks. I would definitely love to play with this a little bit more and create a blue look. Actually, that being said, where has that gone? I bought this baby because there was a bit of controversy around it. I have not used this yet. This is the Tarte Icy Beach palette, and everyone's saying, you know, they brought it out the day before this release. So I'm going to do a comparison between these two palettes and try and create the same makeup look with both palettes and compare what they're like this one on this side, this one on that way. I've done that many times with Line Creme and Jeffree Star and Urban Decay and Jeffree Star, and most of them are with Jeffree Star. I completely forgot what I was saying. Yeah. You can create a neutral look with this palette. It's not going to be ideal. You're not going to be able to create massive amounts of neutral looks because this is a blue palette. I wouldn't buy this palette to create a neutral look. I'd buy this because you want to experiment with color and you want to try a blue look. I don't think this palette is insanely versatile in the way as creating multiple different looks. I think majority of looks are going to be blue. You know, as I said earlier, if there was a yellow, if there was a chocolate brown or whatever, you could probably create a lot more different looks. And I know a lot of people are like, well, you can use a brown from a different palette, you can use a yellow from a different palette. I'm not viewing it that way. I'm viewing this palette as a whole. If you were to go on holiday and you only brought this palette, what looks could you create? So this, only using this particular palette, you're not gonna, I don't think, get too much crazy variation. It's either gonna be blue or something similar to this, or a combination of both. And that is pretty much it. I mean, obviously there's so many different blues. You can do a light blue smoky eye, you could do a dark blue, you could do green, cut crease, whatever, but it's all gonna be blue, if you know what I mean. All right, so let's get into swatches and I'll show you guys exactly what these look like, and I will be doing brush swatches as well. So I'm gonna point you down to the crotch. Hello. Okay, so hopefully, yeah, you guys can see. So we're gonna work our way across and just swatch away. Hello, wow. This is, yeah. I'm leaving it, it's fine. All right, so the first one we have is this bright white, which is the, I can't pronounce that. What is that? Cullinan? Whatever. Mint tea. This is a matte. It does feel very nice and soft. Then we have the Crystal Flash. Beautiful, beautiful color. Very, very nice and soft. So yeah, these are all quite light shades. Next we have I'm Cold. So instantly, like, it is very similar to the mint one. It's just a little bit more blue. I don't know. I don't really think there is that much difference to want to have both on the palette, but that's just me personally. Untouchable, very, very light. Priceless, again, very light. These are very, very similar. Like, we've got these two pastel shades that have not much variation with them, and then we have these two pastel shades, again, not much variation. We've got one that's more peachy, one that's more pink, so it's not magically drastic. Can you tell that I've swatched 6 different shades? Like, yeah. Next we have Power Blue Blood. That one's got some punch, which is really nice. Deceased. So that one does seem to be a little bit more, not matte, but a bit different. Ice Tray. This one's really pretty. It's like a cool toned silver based color. What is in your mouth, sweetie? Ta, don't put that in there. No, sorry. Ow. That one's not for your mouth. You could choke on that, okay? Blue Monday, and then Flourishing. So Flourishing definitely feels like a drier color, even though it's still a matte. Like, the formulation feels very different to Blue Monday. The last line, I always run out of space. We're going to go down here. Wealthy, Celebrity Skin, Entitled, Entitled is stunning. That's a very pretty color. Ocean Ice, which this one does seem like a kind of glittery. It seems very, very soft. Like I think you would get a lot of fall out of this one. This one you definitely need to kind of pat on. If you were to use a fluffy brush, I think it would just be a complete mess. Then we have Cremated and Undertaker. So again, they are quite similar, not much variation between the two. Definitely very beautiful colors, but as I said, there's some that are very, very similar. There's some that, you know, they may not have needed to be there and they could have been replaced with a chocolate brown or whatever other colors. I mean, this is just me saying from my point of view. I mean, obviously Jeffree Star doesn't care what I think. And I'm not meaning to offend anyone, but I'm just saying there are a lot of colors on here that are very, very, very similar, slight variations that, you know, maybe could have been a different shade. That slot could have been put to better use. These three, very slight variations, but very, very similar. Let's give you guys a swatch. Like, do you really need three very similar colors on a palette? You know what I mean? I'm kind of getting the same feeling from the Line Crime Venus, what was it? Venus XL2 palette. If you guys haven't seen my review of that, check it out, because very similar kind of situation. A lot of very similar, slightly different colors that, you know, may or may not really need to be there. Like these two, very, very similar. It's a beautiful palette, but you know, so I feel like you'd end up with very similar looks when you use this palette. Brush swatches, I'm going to be using a slightly more dense brush, nothing that's like crazily packed, but then nothing that's super soft. Ocean Ice, because I just want to see what this is like on a brush. It does seem to kind of build up a lot of color, which is good. We'll go in here. Okay, yeah, so definitely I honestly think a finger would be the best for this because there is a lot of fallout. Definitely if you're going to use the shadow, do it before you do your base foundation because it's just going to be a mess. But it's very, very pretty color. Almost seems like it's a kind of topper that you might just put on with your finger. We're going to do Mint Tea. Yeah, very nice. Ice tray. This one again is quite similar. I would use even a more dense wet brush. We're going to do Flourishing because that just looks crazy. Very soft, getting some of that color. Here you go. Thank you. Yeah, so this one, honestly, I think this one could almost blend away to nothing if you weren't careful, but definitely a more dense packing brush for that kind of shadow. So final thoughts on the palette. It does perform really well. The shadows are beautiful as always. It is a beautiful designed palette, like the quality is amazing, but I think its downfall is it's not going to be for everybody. I don't think everyone is going to wear blue shadow enough to kind of warrant the cost of the palette. It is definitely more on the expensive side, as most of his palettes are, and yes, you do pay for the packaging, you pay for the quality, the formulation, everything like that. However, I think there's a lot of blue in here. If you don't like blue, if you're not going to be wearing this a lot, like this could be something that would just sit in your drawer. If you do love collecting items, then this is definitely a beautiful palette. For me personally, I don't think I'm going to be using it really that much. When I do want to do a blue look, this will be my go-to. I guess it depends on who you are, what you will be using this palette for. You know, if you're a working makeup artist, you do a lot of very avant-garde creative looks, this is definitely amazing. If you just love Jeffree Star and you need all of his products, amazing. But if you are, you know, the run-of-the-mill person, you love makeup but you don't really wear it that often, or you don't want to really experiment with blue, then this isn't going to be for you. Yes, you definitely can create a really nice natural kind of smoky eye, but you can create this look with 1,000 other different palettes. Yeah. I guess my thoughts is buy this if you want to buy it. If you don't want to buy it, then don't buy it, basically. So I guess final verdict is beautiful palette, not very versatile. Anyway, rainbows, hopefully you enjoyed that video. I do apologize for the delay and you know, bear with me over the next few weeks because there's probably going to be a big delay with videos, and I do apologize. It's just a crazy time for me moving house. You know, once we finally get a rental, then we've got to move everything in, and then we've got to hook up internet and everything. So, you know, it might be a while. So bear with me. Yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. All right, I do want to show you guys this look in... Oh, I think I went too heavy with the blush, but that's okay.